Hey, check this out. All right, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we very seldom play smooth jazz on the DJ Mel show, but I listen to this guy's music, and it's so nice and so smooth, and it's so grooving. I had to bring him on the show, and I want to bring him on right now. Keyboardist extraordinaire, smooth jazz artist, Mr. Jesse JTJazz Thompson on the DJ Mel show. JT, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother? I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Right, welcome to the show, man. Right, say hello to Denise Wilkinson of Sky and Cat Rollins.
Hi,
Hey,
JT.
hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Good. Welcome.
Welcome, man. Welcome, man. Hey, listen, man. Like I say, like we play smooth jazz every now and then on the show, on the DJ Mel show. But like I say, we got smooth jazz Sundays on, well, and we play smooth jazz on Sundays right here on WMEL-Radio. But our girl Breast Bliss, who is our publicist for WMEL-Radio, send the song to us and Mel listen to it, and I listened to it, and I was like, hey, all right, bring them on, bring them on the show. So yeah, man. So welcome, man. Anyway, so let's start like this. Where are you from?
Well, I was originally born and raised from Dayton, Ohio, the land of the funk.
The land of the funk. All right.
Yeah. So I currently reside in Columbus, Ohio. So, but yeah, Ohio boy. I'm Ohio.
Yeah. How many how many hours is between the land of funk and where you at now?
Oh, it's only like an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is music is 30 but how music had came a part of your life?
Well, it started out. I was 5 years old. My dad was a professional jazz drummer, and my mom played organ and piano in the church. And then I have a brother of mine who's played with the groups you may have heard of: Parliament, Dayton Slave, Steve Arrington Hall of Fame, and the list goes on and on. So being a 5-year-old youngster, with music in the house and surrounded by musicians, I first started out playing the drums. I pulled out this drum set from the basement and started tinkering away. And then after that, I started, playing the piano. So by the time I was 12 years old, I played 13 different instruments by that time. Right. So, yeah.
Right. Hey, man, how many instruments that you know how to play now?
13.
13. Right. Do you play all the instruments on your recordings?
I have not done that yet, but that's next on the list. But yeah. But my main instrument, of course, is, keyboard, piano, that sort of thing. So
right, how important it is to understand the business side of music.
I think it's very important because you always want to make sure, for one, that you are always a student, right? That's the thing I always try to tell and share with others. Always a student, no matter how old or how young you are. So you want to understand the business side, so you understand as far as the financial aspect of it, the publishing, the copyrights part of it, the whole business administration, because it's very easy for musicians and artists to play or sing their gift. But sometimes you find challenges with handling the business side of things, right? So everything from management to publishing to, PR work and, and doing the stuff like we're doing today, right? So it's very, very important to understand the business because it is a business.
Right, man. Who are some of your influence that influence you to be the artist who you are today?
Oh man, that could be like an all-day conversation. But well, first of all, my parents, who are no longer with me, but Herbie Hancock, my oldest brother Marvin Wheatley, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Jimmy Smith, Alex Bouillon, Joe Sample, George Duke, of course. Man, list can go on and on and on. I can keep going forever.
Well, you're a world-class musician. What impresses you about a well-known musician?
Not only besides their gift, but their ability to share with others. Their ability to be able to help share and someone who's not selfish and to help teach and willing to help lift others along the way. because it could be a rough road out there. But it's but if we do things together and help one another, it's what really makes it beautiful. Because music is a universal language. No matter what culture is, whatever, it's always used to communicate. Even with people who are deaf, they may not be able to hear the music, but they can feel the vibrations, right? The different frequencies, and they can also tell by, the different the dialects of it itself. So.
Right. All right. Nisi, talk to JT's Jazz.
I am fascinated by this 13 instrument mastery, sir. I got the vocals and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? It stops there, maybe a little banging on a table now and then. But my goodness, how did you, now were you self-taught or were you part of a music program in school? Because part of my influence and a lot of what I learned about singing, I learned in school participating in chorus. So what was your path in terms of learning how to play all those instruments?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. So definitely had some self-teaching from my parents and siblings, but mainly and most importantly through school. And I will say this, I have all of the band teachers that I had in my life were superb. There are two that stands out most importantly in my life, and that's Mr. Leroy Hall, who's in Dayton, Ohio now. As a matter of fact, we wrote a song together on my project called The Right One Baby. And then Mr. or Dr. James Oliver, who is the actual band director of Alabama State University. So those two alone taught me a lot of things, from being able to record on a 4-track. And growing up in Dayton, things were kind of rough, back then, with all kinds of stuff with gangs and that sort of thing on the West Side. So Mr. Hall made sure that we had a second place to call home. So we would always be in the band room after school. Our parents didn't have to worry about us. We were in there recording and learning scales and just playing other instruments. And we did that for, I don't know, maybe until about maybe 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And then he home himself. So those were the days when you had some really, really good instructors and role models in your life, and teachers were more than teachers. They were people who wanted to instill things in your life, make a difference. So
I love that point that you made, because I'm not sure if students are encountering or engaging with their teachers the way we did back then. I mean, my choral teacher long since, passed off the scene, but the relationship, the depth of that relationship and the things that she taught me are going to stay with me forever. And it saddens me that now students, I think, don't have those types of connections anymore. They don't have those programs anymore in school, right? I mean, there's no music. We had chorus, band, orchestra, and then they would break out little groups. If you were specialized, then you got to be in those little groups. And like you said, it gave you something to think about, but it also gave you pride in yourself. It was a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? When you're able to sing along with a group of people and evoke that kind of emotion in others. So what do you think? What do you think we ought to do? Like, we ought to get together and wave some banners for music and arts education in the schools.
Yes. You're so right. I mean, music is everywhere you go. It's on every TV broadcast. It's on the internet. It's like old-fashioned elevators. Everywhere you go, there's music. And without having music, if you're watching a movie and if there's no music, it's kind of dead, right? It's very boring, right? And then music helps to create the scene or the feel of that certain scene in the movie, whether it be something that's, on the edge of your seat or something that's soothing, relaxing. I think that we all just have to come together somehow or another, all of us, and raise a standard, make a stand for music, because music is life. And our voices, our vocal cords are instruments themselves. I mean, it starts there, so if you can play the spoons or you can play the tuba, you have a voice, what I'm saying, it makes a difference. And I think that's something that, you just can't take for granted.
Oh, you're right. All right, Kat.
I too am very inspired by the fact that you play so many instruments. I think I tried playing the piano once, but I feel terribly because I didn't take the time I should have. I've always aspired to play the piano. And I admire anybody who, especially if they're vocalists as well, because I feel like that really enhances a person's ability to be able um, to um, to sing and hit the right notes, and it's so much easier for people that I see that um, are able to play instruments, especially the piano, the keyboards.
Yes.
Um, and your point for us trying to advocate for kids having music and arts in the school now, they've lost all of that. I mean, and music has a great impact on all of our children, everyone.
Yes.
That's all they listen to. And whatever is being promoted in the music is what their mindsets are. You know,
Yes.
and unfortunately a lot of the music nowadays are not promoting the right messages. I mean, the messages that they are promoting are such that it's not beneficial for a healthy environment.
Right.
So I really believe that. So do you travel outside, and have you performed like in areas like this area, in the DMV area or something like that? Because if you do, I want to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I do travel. I have not been in the DMV area yet, but let's,
Really?
let's help get me there, right? Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That might be a possibility. You talking
Yeah.
to the right one, Mr. DJ Mel over there,
Okay.
and
All
Miss Denise from Sky, and I got a
right.
couple of little strings I know to pull. So
Yeah.
would love to have you.
Well, get us all down there at the same time because I want to see him too. Okay? I don't want to be
That's right.
But
I'll take a 4-hour drive for that, I promise you.
you know what? You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? Right? I was gonna let the cat out the bag, and that is that JTJazz is going to be one of the performers at next year's WMEL-Radio Honors this year.
Well, all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll get to meet you personally because I'll be singing as well.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Why
Awesome.
not?
That'd be great. Oh, man. Pleasure.
And anyway, wait. We'll talk more about the WMEL-Radio Honors.
Yeah, we'll be later.
later. Right. Walk us through a day in the life of Jesse Thompson, the man.
I tell you what, it's never the same thing all the time, like like you would think it would be. But for the most, it's basically just, I'll start out in the morning. I'm a coffee drinker, so I have to confess.
Me too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
In the morning, right? But I mean, I basically I start out with that, and then I do have some different calls I cover in the meetings and on a daily basis, and then obviously I come down to my studio and I call it the J Spot, and I record and create. And also I get calls from other artists, other jazz artists as well, to do other shows and also to do some recordings for them. So, which is an honor. So, and then, I'm a family man, so I do believe in spending time with my family. So I make time for that because life is just definitely too short. You never know. You never know when the time is going to be, you know what I'm saying? So, so I love spending time with them. And then, I love to watch movies. I like that as well. So, I do that here at the house. And, but for the most part, it's, right now for the past few days, I've been doing nothing but planning for these next shows and festivals. I just performed at the Columbus Jazz and Rip Fest here, which is one of the biggest ones around. And now this coming Sunday, I'm gonna be in Atlanta, Georgia at St. James Live performing there as well. So so I'm planning for all these different things and getting ready for these shows and then getting ready to travel more. So it's been fun. It's been great.
All right, let me ask this one question before we get to your single that I like so much called "The Weekend Groove."
Okay.
And I like that. You get you grooving. You've been a part of an amazing music group called Next Level for a few years, and you have been playing for several artists as well as recording with these artists. Now you have embarked on a solo project. What is the impetus behind writing and creating a solo project?
Well, yeah, Next Level's Brotherhood group been around for several years here locally. But I've always wanted to have my own project, and more importantly, I've always wanted to have something to leave as a legacy for my children behind. So doing this was allowing me to embark on something new, as well as me being able to share my music with other artists and that sort of thing. So I will say, when you play with other artists like Eric Darius and Adam Holly and Althea Renee, and the list goes on and on, when you play with those type of people, and they really encourage you and inspire you to do what you desire to do. So I wanted to do something different on my own, and wanted to just leave a message and help lift the message as much as possible.
Yeah. One of my favorite artists, God rest his soul, was the late great Nick Corleone. What is like working with him on the stage?
Man, yeah, we call him Uncle Nick. Man, Uncle Nick was a guy who believed in giving you a chance. Every time I played with him, he would just say, "Man, go ahead and play, Jay. Go ahead and play, JT." So I would play. He'd give me certain sections, and he was a good. He was someone who encouraged you, to move forward, and he'll let you know the truth. Like, hey, it's not easy out here. It's work, but if it's what you want to do, it's worth it. And he was definitely a hard worker, and we truly miss him.
Yeah,
really do.
Truly miss
Yeah.
it. And we still play his music every Sunday here on WMEL-Radio, programmed by our very own Robin Jones, who is listening right now, who is excited about listening to your single, The Weekend Groove. Tell us about The Weekend Groove, JT.
Oh, yeah. Weekend Groove. So that song I created back in 2021, actually, originally, and during the whole beginning of the pandemic thing. So I really felt led to do something that would help inspire people and uplift, because we were going through a lot, right? I mean, it was pretty depressing. So I said, you know what? I really want to make something that helps, lift the spirits and make some people bob their heads and pat their feet. So I came up with that song, and I also mentioned to myself, like, it would be nice to have an awesome flute player on this thing. So I hit up Althea Renee, and Althea Renee loved it, and she had it done within like no time. And she sent me back her files. I took the files, we got them all mixed and mastered, and here we are, Weekend Groove. So it's been a hit, and it seems to bring some joy to people. So I'm glad. Mission accomplished.
All right. All right, JTJazz, introduce your song.
All right, this next song you're going to hear is written by yours truly, featuring the lovely Miss Althea Renee, entitled Weekend Groove.
Set your presets now. You're listening to the DJ Mel Show, live from the WMEL studio.
Weekend Groove from JTJazz.
Yes.
That was banging.
Bravo.
That was banging, baby. That was
Yes, it was.
yes,
Woo!
yes. Nise, like
Yes.
Nise, what do you think of JTJazz Weekend Groove?
Man, let
Feel
me
like
tell
getting in the car and riding down the road
Yeah,
somewhere.
say it again. That is
Yes.
ride music, baby. You can believe it.
Yes, indeed.
I love that the flute was losing
my
its mind.
God.
Was that you or was that
That's
somebody
the young lady.
That's
that's
you.
Althea Renee. Yeah, she's actually
Althea.
Althea Renee is a daughter of one of the original Motown funk brothers.
Oh, wow.
And so she's been around for a while. She's incredible. She's a great sister. Great sister.
Yeah, man. She just fell right in that pocket without even blinking her eyes, boy. She said, "Oh, me? Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this."
Right.
Very nice. And so, were you on the keys? Who was on the keys? Because those keys was slamming too.
That's me. Yes. Actually, on that particular song, I played all the instruments except I had someone else do the horn section for me, wrote the horn parts, but I did all the instruments except for the horns and the flute. Everything else, bass line, the rhythm stuff and keyboards, background, all that stuff.
Well, the horns were very well placed. You know what I mean? You know what that reminded me of? My boys in brass construction, Mel. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love a good horn section, baby. I love it.
But see,
Awesome.
hey, JT, the only thing missing is some singing hooks right from Nisi and Cat. That's
Oh.
Okay.
You know what? That song stands pretty hard on its own. Some things are meant to be instrumentals now.
Okay.
You don't got to be muddied up with a vocalist, you know, unless you write for that. But no, I really love that. I love that piece.
Yeah.
And people need to listen to more instrumental songs, because then you kind of create your own interpretation. Like Kat said, she felt like she was in the car riding.
Yeah,
you know,
riding in
to get a different
on the
feeling.
highway somewhere. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I
grooving,
love about
yes.
instrumental music. It allows the listener to interpret it for themselves and to evoke whatever feelings they get out of it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
I love it too. Right. I'm gonna play one more, and this is truly one of my favorites because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had to ask. I asked Bliss. I said, Bliss, is he covering Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo version, or it doesn't matter at all? And she said, nope.
No.
It's a no. Let me know. We're doing something else over here.
Yeah. Brother of mine, Lynn Roundtree from Detroit, Michigan, trumpet player, is on this tune with me. And this song was something else I wanted to do. And I got, when you deal with so many different things and you listen to so many different people, it's like, it doesn't matter. This is something I want to do, right? If it's something that's for you, it's for you, right?
Right.
So when you're focused, it's like, man, it doesn't matter. No distractions, nothing to stop you or to deter you from where you want to go. So this song is entitled "It Doesn't Matter," and I have fun with it. It's a funky tune.
Yeah, JTJazz.
Yes.
Woo, it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Now let me now that's that sidecar song. It's Cavassier and Cointreau. That's what you have.
Is that what that was?
That's what you have. Kat said we gonna drive on the other one. And this one we just gonna sit. A very well-made sidecar. Okay.
Yeah.
And just sip and bob your daggone head.
Woo.
Enjoy yourself. That was really nice.
That was funky. That was funky.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
some of the little funk clap stuff in there was inspired or encouraged by George Duke. So I kind of had his little vibe on some of that breakdown.
I
Yeah.
can feel that. Yeah.
So,
do the-
yeah.
You know,
Right. So JT, right, let the people know how can they get their music, get us some social media and website address and all that people can get in touch with you.
absolutely appreciate it. So my website is JTJazz.com. And on Facebook, I'm JTJazz as well. And then on Instagram, IG is JTJazz. And I also have a fan page on Facebook called Jesse JTJazz Thompson official fan page. And then as far as my music, I'm available on all digital platforms. So everything from Apple Music to YouTube Music to Deezer to Amazon Music, you name it. I'm trying to cover all grounds so I can get a penny somewhere along the line.
That's right. And any promoters who listen to the show, right, if you're interested in booking Jesse JTJazz Thompson, all you gotta do is to get in touch with my PR rep, Brett Briss, who is the president and CEO of Xclusiv Wavez LLC, and you can call her at 413-614-5674 and you know, get them bookings and go, this cat is bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.